Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Asia. I'm a 25-year-old knitter from the East Coast, and this is the third episode of my podcast. I know that the dates for the podcast have been a little all over the place, but I'm trying to keep them towards the beginning half of the month consistently, but I probably will never end up uploading them all on the same date, just because things are so all over the place and so sporadic that I don't know that I'll be able to make that kind of time. So, but I think it's not too late. Today is September 12th. It is Tuesday. It's like 5 o'clock. It's 4:50 something. So still pretty midday, going towards the evening. I am in my room again. This probably will be hopefully the permanent location for these. But from last time, my background does look a little different. I did more rearranging in my room, trying to get rid of some stuff and clean out my closet, and so everything that was in my closet is now here, and things that were here are now here. There's a lot of switching around, so just in case anybody was curious, that's why my background looks a bit different. So yeah, I think let's get into it. I don't have anything really else to say. Just like a cautionary thing, if there have been a ton of planes flying by today, so if you hear a plane flying by, sorry. It's been like every 5 or 10 minutes that planes are going by. I don't know, maybe this is a big day for flights, not sure, but I was taking a nap earlier before I sat down to record this, and I couldn't sleep because every 5 minutes there was a plane going by, and I was like, what the heck's going on? So anyway, so let's get started with finished objects. I do have one finished object, and it is the finished object that I threatened myself to finish last time, so it did work because I am done. Okay, so here it is. This is my Stockholm Slipover by PetiteKnit, and sorry, I had it folded, you can kind of see where it was folded, but yeah, I love it so much. It's so cute. I knitted this in Juniper Moon Farm Harriet, which is an 100% baby alpaca yarn. I'm in love with it. Every single thing about it I love. I love the color, I love the fit. I'm not gonna put it on because I feel it is hot today, so I don't want to put this on because I feel like the minute I put it on my body I'm gonna start sweating. And also it's like the same silhouette as the dress I'm wearing, so it's not really gonna give a good visual, but it is very cute. I did wear it on a cooler day last month. Cooler meaning that it rained all day and there was basically no sun, but it was still humid and gross, but I was inside, so it was okay. I wore it to work just over a plain white t-shirt and some trousers, and it was super cute and very comfortable. I was not overheating in it or anything, and I was moving around. I mean, I was at work, so I was on my feet all day, and it wore really nicely. I'm really excited to wear it more often. I think that my favorite thing about it is definitely the color. I mean, this is my favorite shade of blue. It actually looks a little lighter on camera than it does in person. Is that gonna help? No. I'm also sitting in front of a window, so it's gonna change the how it looks, but it is adorable and I'm really, really happy with it. I even think that, so I'm really bad at picking up stitches, pretty bad. I mean, it's pretty bad. So it doesn't have the pretty, you know, when people pick up stitches as that pretty edging around if you do it correctly. Mine does not have that, but you know, it's okay. I think it still looks very good, and I like the way it looks, and I'm the one wearing it, so that's what matters, and I think it looks great. So I'm very proud of it. I would say this is probably one of my favorite things that I've made thus far. Out of all my finished garments, I'm really in love with this one, so I'm very excited to wear it once it cools down, and it's very suitable to wear. So this was a whip that I started actually last year in 2022 that I really got a lot of good headway on, and then I got to the body and I was like, okay, I'm tired of it, I don't want to do it anymore. Put it down, totally forgot about it, and this year I picked it back up and finished it actually pretty quickly, which was really good because I didn't want to spend too much extra time on it, and I really didn't have to. It's a very simple, definitely beginner friendly pattern. In the shoulders there are you do use short rows, but I think because it's in such a smaller amount of stitches, it is pretty easy. And I think if you've never done short rows before, it won't be too confusing. I know short rows can get a little weird and it can be intimidating, especially I don't know if anyone else has this issue, but I'm very visual, so a lot of times when I'm doing short rows in the beginning, it's just like a trapezoid and you're like, what am I looking at? But then when you actually pick up from the short rows and then continue the back, you're like, okay, I understand. So yeah, it's pretty simple and straightforward. I would say, yeah, this is a beginner friendly pattern. I thought it didn't take too long. Once I really like got back into it and finished it, it took probably less than a week. So I would say definitely pretty quick, easy, classy. I love the shape of it, love the silhouette. I'm obsessed, love it. So I'm really excited to wear it. Yeah, so that's my only finished object, right? Yeah, that's my only finished object from the last time that I recorded. I mean, it's my only finished object, period. Like, I haven't finished anything else, but okay. So anyway, moving on from that, sorry, I probably have some yarn in my eye. Okay, so now let's talk about whips. Maybe let's talk about the problematic whip first, and then we can get into like the good one. Okay. So in my last podcast, I also talked about a sweater that I was working on from also last year, work in progress from last year. And I had talked about how I'd put it on pause because I ran out of yarn, and I was kind of scared to get another skein online because I was afraid the dye lot wasn't going to match. So I was trying to look for like other solutions, ways that I could complete it and have it not look so all over the place. So here's the update on that. By my face and body language and tone of voice, I'm sure you can tell that it is not done and it's still in a standstill. So, okay. So I do work part-time at a yarn store, and I was looking around seeing if there was anything that I could use that was similar to the yarn that I was using before, and I did find this. So this is the Rowan Alpaca DK. I want to say the color is it's called dark, not dark mauve, what is it? It's not like dark eggplant, you know, it's like a, whatever. Dark aubergine, maybe? I don't know. I don't remember what color it is, and I threw the band away because I'm silly. So yeah, so this was the color I found. So I saw it on the shelf and I was like, okay, I'm gonna take this home and see if it matches the sweater. And if it does, I will come back and buy it, and then I will use it. Okay. When I brought it home that night, I held it up to the sweater and I said, oh my God, perfect match. Can't believe it. So excited, right? So I connected it to the old yarn, started knitting with it. Everything was great. I was in my room. It was at night, so, you know, not looking at it in natural daylight. And I did, let's see, I haven't frogged it yet, so I did like 3 rows of stockinette, and then I started doing the ribbing because literally that's all I had left for the body. I tried it on and I put on, I was like, oh great, like this is good enough for the body length. I'll start the ribbing, everything will be fine, then I can start the sleeves. Incorrect, because so I brought, like, let's say it was like over the weekend, right? So I brought it home on Saturday night, looked at it, I was like, oh great, okay. I connected it Saturday, started knitting with it. Sunday in the morning when I got up, I did look at it in the natural daylight and I said, oh yeah, this totally matches. So I took it to work and I was like working on it more, and in my work lighting, it also looked like it matched. And then the next morning when I picked it up to work on it, I was like, holy shit, this is 2 different colors. And I don't know, you probably can't yet. You probably can't tell on camera. Oh, you can a little bit. No, you kind of can't. I don't know. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at it, and it is totally like a stark line, and it's because where it is in the, like, kind of right there. Can you see that? See how it's just like a line of darker yarn at the bottom? And in a way, I can understand how I thought it was the same, because the yarn that I used for the body is hand dyed, so it does have color variation. It's not necessarily variegated, but you know, there's some rows that are a little lighter and some that are a little darker, which is fine. So when I started with this, it matched like the darker parts of the yarn. And so then, but then when I kept going, I was like, okay, so it's going to be like some of it's lighter and some of it's a little darker. And then at the end, it's just going to be all dark. And I was like, that's so obvious that it's not the same color. I don't know if I can explain that in like a better way. It's just, and the camera's not going to pick it up, but like, yeah, you have to really be looking at it. But even here, you can kind of see how some parts of it are lighter and darker, and it shifts colors, which is totally fine. I don't care about that, but it's just like, this is dark. Like, it leans more towards the darker part of the yarn. And for this to be just at the bottom, I think that even to me, that would probably bother me, because I am a lazy knitter. Like, I will kind of do things to just like get a project done if I can. And you know, this was just like, I was like, okay, even this for me is like, I can't do it. So we're back to the drawing board on that. What I probably will do is I'm just gonna order a skein online. I feel like that's probably my best option, and I think that worst case scenario, if it's so different, I'm just going to have to deal with it. Like, I don't know. I had a couple really nice people suggest things on my last video, and someone said to rip out back to the color work. So like back here to frog till here, and then start like using the new skein and the old skein, like alternate between skeins to do the body, which is smart. And then someone else said, oh, you should check the stash section on Ravelry, which I never thought about. And I was like, okay, that's smart too, because if someone wants to get rid of it, I could use it. But there are a couple problems with that. I don't know the die lot number of this. Oh, maybe I do. Where's my knitting notebook? It's up there. I think maybe I have the ball band, so maybe I do know the die lot number, but I'm not 100% sure if I kept it. I just know what yarn it is, what brand it is, and what color it is. So I think I'm just gonna get a skein online and just deal with it. What I do have some left over of the skein that I was using, and then a little extra from a friend. So I'm probably just gonna use that for the rest of the body and the ribbing, and then use the new skein for the sleeves. It kind of just is what it is. Like, I don't know. This project, I want to be finished so badly, and I think because I want it to be finished so bad, and because I'm so excited about it, and I really want it done so I can wear it, it's just like one problem after the other, which is just, you know, the laws of the universe, really. So there's that. I mean, we'll just have to figure it out. Hopefully, like, fingers crossed that when I get the new skein, it's not gonna look like this. Like, and I know it's not, because it'll be, again, like a little bit lighter in some parts and a little darker in some parts. This is not hand dyed. This is all one color. So that's the reason why it looks so different against the body. And I felt so good about it. And I was like, yay, I don't have to order another skein online. I can just use this. And then it was just like so disappointing. So I don't know. I think that all this work, I think the project is worth it. I'm not going to put it down, and I'm not going to quit. I'm just like, for now, I just don't want to look at it. It's just in timeout again right now. So that's that on that. If anyone is curious, the pattern is Pink Noise. It's from one of the Pom Pom magazine. It's from one of the quarterlies. I don't know what season it is, but I know it's the rhythm issue. That's the cover. So it's in that one. I'm not sure if it's autumn or winter. I don't really remember. It might be winter. Winter 21? I don't know. I just know it's the rhythm issue. That's the one it's in. It's a beautiful pattern. I've never done color work before that, so it was really like exciting to learn something new. It's actually not super hard. And I really want to finish it. I'm really excited to wear it because I love purple and I have nothing really purple. So this was the first like purple project I started, and I was really excited to finish it. And it's taken over a year at this point to kind of get through it. So anyway, now let's talk about something happy. By the way, this is the project bag that I'm using now. Isn't it so cute? It has deer on it and peaches. This is it's a Baggu like packing cube, and the set is called like needlepoint fruit or something. So I have 3 sizes, and this is the biggest size. So I'm using it as a project bag because it fits a lot. Like it will fit a whole sweater and a skein of yarn and my notions bag, which is kind of hard to do with other project bags because they're so small. So let's talk about what's bringing me joy. This is a project that I started, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, maybe a little longer than that, but no longer than a month. And I've been knitting on this on and off. This is sweater number 9 by MyFavouriteThingsKnitwear. I've had this pattern literally for a million years. Literally, it's been so long. I bought this pattern when I first started knitting, like 3 years ago. And what I'm trying to do is be more intentional with the patterns that I buy, like, you know, more recently. But I have a ton of patterns just laying around and I really want to use them. I have pom-pom magazines, I have pattern books that I really want to use because they're just patterns that are sitting there and I paid for them. You know, I bought the publication, so I really want to use them. And this was one that I had downloaded for a long time. I actually started knitting it 2 other times. I did it once last year and once the year before. The first time I tried to knit this, I was using a Noro yarn, which I really love, but I think that because of the way the color happens, like the gradient happens, I didn't like the way it looked in this pattern, like because it starts black and then it goes gray and then brown and then tan. So it really is like a hard gradient, and I didn't like the way that it was looking in the yoke. I thought it looked too weird. And also, because of all the color changes, you really lose the look of the raglan, which is like kind of the key point of the sweater. So I didn't want to continue using that yarn. So then I frogged it, and then I started it in a different yarn in a gray, which was, there goes the plane. I don't know if you can hear that. And also my toilet is running and there are just so many noises happening right now. Please, like, I can't. What was I saying? Oh, I knit it in gray, and I was using Feeling Good yarn by Wool and the Gang, but I also didn't like how it was making the raglan look. And I think it's because the yarn is so fluffy that the detail doesn't come out as well. So I didn't really like that one either, so I frogged it too. So now this is my 3rd time starting it, and now I'm almost finished. So anyway, so this is the sweater. It is a top-down raglan. Wait, let me like try to bring it a little closer. So it's a top-down raglan sweater. I am almost done with the left sleeve, and it's a very simple construction. It's a 2x1 rib, which I'm obsessed with. Like, I don't think I've ever done a project with a 2x1 rib, and I love it. And it has really, really cool raglan details. So this is 2 pearls, 2 knits, and 2 pearls for the raglan. And it gives this really cool, like, almost like indent in the sweater, which I think looks amazing. I'm obsessed with it. I'm not really a person who loves a high neck. I get hot really easily, so if I'm wearing turtlenecks or high neck sweaters for a long period of time, I get really warm. But this, I'm just obsessed with. Like, the way I have tried this on, and just the way that the edging looks against my neck is just something that is like outstanding. Like, I love it so much. Very simple pattern, no short row shipping, no anything. It's just a simple raglan. So the back looks exactly the same. And I am having a great time knitting this. Like, I'm doing the sleeve, which is like, I feel like to me the most tedious part, even more so than the ribbing, but I really like it. And in the pattern, you are supposed to knit, I think it's like 13 centimeters for the sleeve, and then you're supposed to start decreasing so that it tapers. I'm not going to do that. I want a wide sleeve for this. So the width of the sleeve right now is that's how it's going to stay. Because I kind of wanted to almost have like a bell sleeve look. I just really want long, comfy sleeves, nothing crazy. And I feel like that's the beauty of knitting, because if you're doing a pattern and the pattern calls for something and you say, I don't want to do that, you don't have to. So I don't want to do that. And I really want more like wide sleeve sweaters, because I actually really like that look. Because I tend to tuck my sweaters in, so I think it's interesting to have like a fitted neck, wide sleeves, fitted body, like wide pants, like stuff like that. So I really like that. And yeah, I'm loving it. I really actually like the color too. I don't have anything cream, so this was yarn I had laying around for forever. I had 3 of these. This is the last one, so I'm definitely going to use a pretty decent amount of it because I have to finish the sleeve and do the next one. Unfortunately, I did get this yarn from Hobby Lobby eons ago, and I don't shop there anymore, but this I had laying around and I didn't want to waste it. I just wanted to use it because I'm trying to knit only from my stash, so that's what the yarn is. So I don't know if I should even bother telling you what it is. It's an acrylic polyamide blend. 80% acrylic, 20%, right? Polyamide? Yeah. But literally you could use anything. I'm just using this because I had it and I wanted to use this color for something very interesting, and I think this raglan is very interesting. So I think it's important to like let the design speak for itself. So doing like something like this in a plain color to me was very important. And I picked literally the most plain color besides black or white. Like I picked cream, beige, whatever. So I had enough yarn for it, so I figured why not? I had the pattern, why not? So I'm almost finished and I'm really liking it. I'm very excited to be able to wear this. I think that it's I knitted it a little shorter than what it calls for. There are 2 versions. There's like, in the same pattern, there's the regular version measurements for the body and then the short version. So I think I leaned closer to the short version, just because, again, I tuck in my sweater, all my tops to my pants. But even if I wanted to wear this like tucked out, it would still not be super long. The bottom ribbing I also did 2x1 to match the neck. The cuffs will follow. And yeah, I'm loving this. I think that I really love the texture of it. I love the look of it and the feel of it, which I'm really happy about, because I think that's what keeps projects interesting, when the pattern is pretty, but also like texturally it's really like speaking to you. So I really like that. So yeah, that's my whip, kind of my one whip right now. I don't really have a bunch of other whips going on, besides like the ones that are languishing. I mean, which I'll get to eventually, just like this one I had laying around and I got to it eventually. So after this, I'm planning on starting sweater number 14, which is just an oversized drop shoulder, folded over neck sweater. I do have a really fun yarn for it, which I guess I can show you. So I have it sitting up. So this is what I have. This is Madeline Tosh DK in the color Elizabeth Taylor. Are you kidding me? Like, literally, are you kidding me? This is stunning. It's probably like the best purple ever. It's gorgeous. And so I have this, and I've never made a sweater with mohair before. So that was also something new that I really wanted to try because, you know, why not? So this is 100% superwash. And then the mohair that I chose is Sugar Bush Drizzle. This is, does it have a name? It's 76% super kid mohair and 24% silk. So this will be a very cozy, luxurious sweater. I'm very excited. What is the name of it? Plum Frost. So I think that these two are a pretty good match. When you look at them in real life, I would say they are very similar, but like a little different, but not starkly. So I think they're going to work together very nicely, and I'm very, very excited. And I've had this yarn sitting around for a while also, so I really want to get it going and do something with it. And I have a very fun idea for the back of the sweater that involves duplicate stitch that I will not reveal because I want to see, first I want to finish the damn thing, and then if I still have energy by the end of it, then I will do the duplicate stitching. But I have a really fun idea that I've kind of had since having the idea to knit this sweater. I really want to incorporate it, so we'll see. Fingers crossed that that works out. So yeah, so I guess that brings us into like future plans for projects. Definitely sweater number 14. I have a few other top patterns, not necessarily sweaters, that I want to try. A couple scarves, but I'm not a person that really just has a queue of projects and goes with them in order. I just can't do that because to me, that's like I hate being told what to do, so that's me telling myself what to do, and then I just don't listen. So I kind of just do things as they speak to me or in the order that I feel like. So, I mean, this is kind of like me telling myself what to do, but I think I will go through with it because I'm really excited and it's due time. I mean, this will be finished probably within the next few days. So now we're like really in the middle of September. I need sweaters for October, November. One other sweater that I really, really want to knit is the festival sweater. I think it's called the festival sweater My Size by PetiteKnit. It's the one that has another high neck, because this literally changed me as a person. It has a high neck, and then it has stripes, but the stripes have mini baubles on them. Very cute pattern. And I thought, okay, this would look bomb in a navy and an orange, like a burnt orange. So I would love to do that, like a dark blue and a dark orange. I think that would be amazing. And those are the only two that I have like in mind right now that I really want to finish or start. But I'm sure like I will pick up other projects in between. I actually have an idea for this yarn that I'm going to use once I take it out of this project. It's another pattern from a pom-pom magazine, which is just a simple headband that goes over your ears. It's like an ear warmer. I've made it twice before. Very quick and easy project, really cute. It has a twist in the front, so it has like a little, keeps it interesting. So I'll probably like make a couple quick projects like that. If you're curious about the sock, not talking about it, not addressing the sock, not talking about it. But yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. The only other thing I have is that I am about to do a yarn bomb project, which will be really cool. So I'm just crocheting a bunch of scraps. Like I literally had like just big squares, granny squares, flowers, different shapes, open work, panels. Like it's really just kind of all over the place. So that's one thing I'm working on too. I will hopefully have pictures of that soon. But yeah, that's really all I have for today. Very simple as usual. And for the send-off today, do I have any books? I have finished, so I did read Terrace Story by Hilary Lecter. Just came out this past Tuesday. Great book, loved it. I feel like in a way it's almost, I've pitched it to customers by saying it's almost like Coraline for adults, except for Coraline is for adults. So it's not really a fair comparison, but it does have like that whimsical, kind of bittersweet, sad tone to it, which I really liked. So I would definitely recommend that. Please go to your local bookstore if possible and pick up a copy. And what I'm reading now is this book by Esther Yee. It's called YN, but the YN is not yes, no, it actually stands for your name. And it is a very interesting book, and I think that if you have any experience in fandom culture at all, this will speak to you. This is speaking to me very much so. I love the writing. It's such a quirky plot, and the main character is so interesting to follow. Very excited. It's actually really exciting to me because I haven't been excited about a book like all year since February. The last book that I finished that I really loved and I was so excited to like blow through it was Big Swiss by Jen Began, who I love. She's like one of my favorite writers ever, and I haven't had really that spark with the book since then, up until right now reading this. So I'm really excited to finish this. I'm like a little under halfway through, I think. Yeah, so kind of making my way through, but I'm really excited to finish it. And within the first 10 pages I already knew, I'm like, okay, this is gonna be a 5-star read for me. So very excited. So I'd recommend those 2 books. And I think that might be it. Other recommendations, it's fall now, so you know, cafes have out their fall menus. The Starbucks apple crisp iced shaken espresso with oat milk, whatever that drink is delicious, by the way. So if you like fall drinks, I would definitely recommend that. I have not gotten my first PSL of the season because I refuse to do it while it's still over 75 degrees, and today it is literally 85. So I've not had a PSL yet, but I have had the iced apple crisp blah blah blah, and it's very good. I actually really like it. I will say though, I had a small size, and I probably wouldn't get anything bigger than that because it is really sweet. So if you don't like overly sweet drinks, I would say ask them to like take down one of the pumps of the syrup because it's very sweet. You can definitely taste the coffee in it for sure, which makes it good, but yeah, it's pretty intense if you are not really into sweet drinks. And I kind of am. I can be, but even sometimes for me, I'm like, oh, this is a little like, this is really sugary. But it's very good. So I'd recommend that. And I think that's it for recommendations. Just like random recommendations. So if you've made it to the end, thank you as always. I know I can kind of go off and talk about random things sometimes and can get pretty heated when I'm complaining about my knits, but thank you for watching. Leave me a comment, like literally about anything. I don't know. I said that on my last video too. I just really like reading comments and engaging with people and talking to people and seeing what people have to say. I think it's really interesting. You could tell me anything. Tell me about your day. Tell me about your favorite Starbucks drink. Have you had your first PSL of the season yet? So you could tell me literally anything. And any advice. I'll take any advice on anything. Like knit wise, for sure, I will definitely take advice on, because I am still a baby knitter. Like, I went to Knitting Circle this morning and I love going because I love seeing what experienced knitters can do and like what you can do with this craft. It is so interesting and intriguing to me, and I love it. And so it just makes me realize like how much I haven't done yet and how much I have to learn, which is a lot. And even people who I know who have been knitting for over 20 years are still learning new ways to do things, which is really not the one thing, but it's like the biggest thing that I love about fiber arts and art in general, is that you are always learning no matter what. So I really enjoy that. So any tips or tricks or pattern recommendations or anything you have for me, I will gladly take them, and I will have a great time reading them. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.